It's very beautiful in this world, even though here in Arusha it's a bit chill. We're getting into the rainy season, and Arusha is on a higher altitude, so it's a bit cold concerning on our standards.
Hello and welcome to Obehi Podcast. I'm your host, Obehi A14, and I strongly believe that everyone has a story to share. Now let's get started into this episode.
But I still like it very much, and it's green, and it's getting there. So
that's lovely. All right. Argumentation in sales. Micael, what do you want people to know about this?
Well, as you said in the beginning, we talked about the questioning, and with the questioning part, you get a lot of information. And now with that information that you have gotten from the client, now it's time for you to talk, because now the client has talked and you get all the information. So now it's time for you to argue and have to sell the product or the service, and that's your part. So if you have done your questioning well, now it's the time to shoot.
All right. Say maybe, for example, you meet a client who is very argumentative. How do you manage to handle that in a way that, at least, because you are in the driver's seat, no? You are the one sort of navigating the conversation on. How do you deal with a person who is very argumentative as a client or maybe as a customer?
No, I mean, the thing is, if they want to argue about it, I let them. That is why I have the questioning part, and that is so important, because the argumentation is not just to argue, it's to present. Let's say it's the presentation of the service or the product that you want to solve for the client. So argumentation is like a talk back and forth, and they have had their time to give you the information or give me the information. So now it's time for me to continue with my part, my presentation and my argumentation. So I ask them respectfully if there is anything else that they want to put up on the table about their business or the service or whatever they do. And if they say no problem. So I ask them again, can I now present the solution that I think will benefit you for the best? And that's when I start to take my time, because I've been now showing my big ears. Now it's time for me to present the solution.
So in that case, how would you present the solution to the person, laying out your offer, the solution that you have? How does it go in that sense?
I mean, let's say that we have a customer coming in to buy a car. So when I've asked everything about what they have, what they need and want, more or less, I then start to see what solution can be the best for the customer. So for me, it's like what I've heard from you, and then I go through, you want this features of a car. And they say, yes, it is. Okay. So when it comes to a car, let me say that I present a car that has a strong engine, 200 horsepower. But that's not enough, because 200 horsepower in a car doesn't really sell. It doesn't say anything. It just say that the car is strong. So from that reason, I need to go further on and bring on the advantage of those 200 horsepowers and the benefit for the client. So for instance, with a 200 horsepower engine, you can make quicker overtakes if you're driving a lot of miles, which I then got the information from the client that, yes, he's driving a lot of miles. So quicker overtakes when he's driving on the road could be a good case. So with a strong engine, in this case 200 horsepower, he can make a quicker overtake, and that is then the advantage of that strong engine. But if you then go further on, and that is not still enough for the customer to be really that's not really the solution or the benefit, because the benefit with this is that it's going to be more secure for him to take the overtakes. He is not He's not going to spend endless time over. The strong engine makes him make overtakes quicker and be on the safe side. So what I'm selling with this 200 horsepower engine is not only quicker overtakes, but also safety. And safety, that is, in this case, the benefit.
All right. So you mean after you are listening to the client, of course you ask all the questions like we did the last time. You understand what is the problem, no, that he or she is facing, that you are going to provide solution for. This is the moment that you talk about the features and benefit of the offer that you are going to present to him. I don't know if I get that right.
Yes, correct. Meaning, when I get the information, I make a summary of that. So, for instance, you are a traveling sales guy, yes, and you travel a lot of miles per year, yes, long distances, yes, and you're in the car more or less all the time, yes, and you need to come in time to the customer, you need to travel safe and so forth, yes. Okay, so this is what I have for you. I would like to present you with a car with a 200 horsepower engine. That makes you make overtaking in a quicker way, and that means safer for you. And by the way, this engine has also a very low fuel consumption. So you're not only safe, but you're also not spending a lot of money on fuel. So I could add up, the benefits, the solution for this client. And with that said, as you said, you're traveling a lot of miles on the road. You need to be safe. You need to have a low fuel consumption. And when you're traveling and on these long roads, you need to make overtakes sometimes. And in this case, it's going to be quicker and for that reason, safer.
All right. Now, from your experience, would you say it is better to concentrate on the advantages or on the feature of what you are offering to the client? In this case, of course, looking at the 200 horsepower, I don't know if that is how you put it just now. Should you concentrate more on the advantages or on the feature of the offer?
Actually, I concentrate more on the benefits, because there are some surveys that say that if you only concentrate on the features, the chance or the possibility for you to sell is around 10%. If you increase that to say the feature and then you add up the advantage of that product, then you raise the possibility to sell to 60%. But if you then add a benefit for the client, then you're up to 90% sure, and the probability of that client to buy, in this case, this car or the product or the service that you're going to provide. I mean, there are other examples that I can make. You maybe have a client that is going to outsource the customer service, for instance, because they have a lot of customers that is calling and they don't have the time for that. And what you can apply to the company that will give them an automatic 24/7 customer service. So 24/7 customer service is the feature. And the benefit is that in case the customers will always be able to reach. And the benefit for the customer is that the benefit for the company in this case would be that the customers are always able to reach you and ask for questions or problems or issues or topics that has arisen for them. So they will get a more loyal and appreciative customer if they buy my service of a 24/7 automatic customer service that they don't have to, they don't have to make anything. I will take care of the problem. They can continue with the business on a daily basis. So in this case, I'm taking care of the problems for them on this customer service side.
All right. Now, is there a reason, kind of a justification, maybe psychologically thinking, why showing the benefit of your product or offer to a customer sells more compared to maybe just showing them the feature of your offer or a goods or a product?
Yeah, I mean, even if I go to myself, if we go back to the car, for instance, and it has 200 horsepower, it doesn't tell me anything, Okay, what is the good thing with that? What is the advantage of that, and what does it benefit me if I'm going to buy that car? So I mean, the benefit, go back, it's a huge psychological thing, because we talked about this psychology in the questioning part. So everything is about psychological, and you need to get into the customer's shoes in order to understand the needs and the solution that they want. Maybe this is going back to this car sales again, I'm sorry, I'm stuck with cars, but maybe they have a family and they need to have a safe car for the kids, and they want to be in a good place, and they want to save a lot of money, and they are environmentally conscious, then maybe you have an option on that, either or an engine that is very low in fuel consumption, or in these days maybe you have an alternative of an electric car that doesn't consume any fuel at all. So I mean, you need to pull that string that makes the customer realize that you have understood what they really need. And it doesn't matter if it's a service or it's a product. It's all about bringing them a solution, whether it is to have a better margin and a better revenue, or if it's safety or other things that can make it more easy, I'm trying to make a solution for them that will ease the problem and make it as less problematic as possible.
All right. Now, say maybe you are talking to this client. Of course, you already did the questioning. You put down the idea and what the client want or fees or need, and now you bring you lay down the offer that you want to your response to the question.
Yeah.
What if the customer doesn't seem to follow? I mean, she or he doesn't seem to get the why they need to buy from you or take the offer. Does it mean you need to go back and repeat the same questioning again? Tell me what you do at that point, that she's not or he not moving forward from the moment of argumentation.
I always go back and connect with the information I've got. So for instance, as you said, this is very important for you, correct? Yes. So in that case, I would suggest this solution with this feature, with this advantage, and this is going to benefit you in this way. Are you with me with that? Or am I correct then? Yes, you are correct. Okay, so we can move on to the next step. Yes, we can move on to the next step. So the next step for you was that you were looking at this factor or this solution to help you with a problem. Yes, yes. So in that case, I have this feature that has this advantage, and it will benefit in you in this way. So every time you have to connect with what they said, because what they have said, they can't take it back. It's there, So if you're going to be very professional, you even write down what they have given you as an information, and from there you go. And then when you have come to that place, then we come to the next step, when you're going to close the deal and sell it. But for me, it's very important that the salesperson also very much understands how to present and argue for a product. Maybe argumentation is the wrong word. Maybe presentation and present the solution is a better word. But I mean, you still have to argue for it. You still have to talk for the product, and you need to be passionate about it.
All right. Now, if you were to describe even argumentation in sales, why would someone really need to do that? Why is it important for maybe a beginner salesperson who is getting into sales or who wants to sell more? Why does this person need to know how to present, like you said, instead of just making argument? So what is the importance of it? That is actually the question.
Many times I've seen that when you're young and you're enthusiastic, you stop by the feature. And you think that the customer understands the feature as long as you do, because as you are the salesperson or you're providing a solution for the company, you can see the solution, how it's going to help. But the customer doesn't see it automatically. Just because I know that this car has 200 horsepower doesn't mean the customer see the advantages and the benefits. So for me, it's very important for a salesperson who is coming into the the business, to understand how important it is to talk about the feature, yes, but you need to continue going further on to talk about what advantages this has, and then go another step to explain the benefits of this, the solution that would then ease the problem and help this client with whatever problem or issues he or she has. So for me, it's, yeah, I mean, I rather not talk so much about the features. I rather talk more about the benefits, because that is the one who is selling. That is the one who makes the client buy. Because we talked about it the last time, that I want the customers to buy from me. I don't want to sell them anything. So if I do this presentation in a good way, they will instantly, nod their head, and then they want to buy it. And you also need to use, again, we have talked about how you use your toolbox, yes, your toolbox. And part of that is your body. And if you then go and say, yes, as I understood by what you had, this is what you really needed, yes? And then, you nod and you smile, and then they say, yes, it is. And then you continue. So, I mean, everything that you have is your toolbox, and you need to use it in a correct way. And that is also part of the presentation. Sorry, I mean, it's part of it, how passionate you are about the product. But then again, if we go back, I've tried so many things in order for me to see what is more important when it comes to sales. And I've seen that attitude and passion is really, really important. And you can be as professional as you can be when it comes to present the features and talking about the advantages and talk about the benefits in a very calm way, but not showing passion. The client will not buy. And I've tried it myself. I risked it one time when I was in the. I will give you a small example on that. When I was a sales rep selling hair care products. At that time, we had got a new product that would make your hair, give it more volume. And especially in Sweden or in the Nordic countries, we have a very thin hair, small hair, baby hair. We kind of have a lot, but it's still, thin. And we want this volume. Yes. So this small product that we had launched was a volumizer, yes. And for my first big customer, I said, okay, let me try this feature, advantages, and benefits in a very professional, strict way. In the end of the presentation, I talked about the benefits, it's going to give the customer a better volume of hair and so forth, so forth. He said, nah, I don't think that's for me. Okay, I took that. I risked, I lost. So then I thought, okay, let me do this in another way. So I went into my next customer, and then I was like, you know what? Today is the day. I have this product that is so fantastic, you can't even believe. And they were like, what? Okay, let's hear. So we went into the meeting room, and I said, yes, this product, when you use this after shampooing and you put it in your hair and you dry it, boom, you get the volume that you want. And they said, yes, how much? How much do we need to buy? We want it right now. So, I mean, you can make it, I mean, it depends on what business you're in. And maybe it depends also on the relationship that you have with your clients or your customers or your friends, whatever you might call them. But if you don't have that passion when you explain the advantages and the benefits, man, you are in the wrong game.
That's interesting. Now, are there things that people need to keep in mind when going for this argumentation and setting? I don't want to call it rules, but anyway, you can call it rules if you want, but certain guidelines they must put in consideration in order for them to succeed in the argumentation or the presentation of their offer.
Yeah, I would say that. I mean, you need to be cool and calm and collected. And then also have a feedback on the client that you're on the right path. So calm, cool, and collected. And then give feedback on a regular basis in order to get what you want. But I think the most important part is that you stay calm and that you present it in such a way that is interesting for the client. Other rules? No, I think you need to know what you're talking about. But then again, if you add some passion, that's not wrong. That's really helpful.
That's good. Now, have maybe beginner sales, maybe people that you train, ever complain to you of anything that they are not able to overcome within this area of sales, presentation, or argumentation for their goods and offer in order to convince a customer to buy from them?
Absolutely. And I mean, it's go back and then again to the questioning part. They haven't done their homework right. So they haven't got the full information from the customer. They just go in and then they present. And the customer, what do you mean? I don't need this. And then they come back and say they didn't want to sell. I couldn't sell because they didn't want to buy. I couldn't sell. And then if you then sit down with the salesperson and said, okay, walk me through the process. And then they start, I had this fantastic example when I was working in Denmark. So we had a new product that we want to launch. And it was an OTC, over-the-counter product that we believed very strongly in. And I believed it in very strongly. And I said, you need to do it right. I'd made the presentation on the sales conference and I thought everyone understood. Asked to me and said, Micael, I don't know what I'm doing wrong, but it doesn't work for me. And then you have to take in consideration that I'm a Swedish guy working in Denmark, trying to understand the Danish language for first, and then trying to give him a proper answer for second. So instead, I said, okay, what I want you to do is to write me an email, exactly how the process, what you have done. From the moment you walked into the door, when you sat down with the client, how you presented the product, and where it went wrong, according to you. So give me that in an email, and then I will respond to you. Oh yeah, sure, I will do that. So he wrote me an email, and he came in, that was good. He greeted and said, I'm coming, this is me, and we have a new product. But from that point, he lost the most important part, and that was the question. Solution for the clients. He also missed some things. So what I did then is I answered the mail, and I said, you need to ask more questions here. You need to summarize the questions here. You need to put it in here and get an okay from the customer. And then when you present the solution, do it like this. You talk about the feature, you talk about advantage and the benefit for the customer. And then you add some passion. And then hopefully this will go well. So I respond to that mail. And then the next day in the evening, he called me and said, oh, Micael, whoa, hey, I saw.
You made it.
Yes. So sometimes you just need to go through every step correct. And this was a young guy, and he was new in sales. But I coached and mentored him in such a way that he became the sales rep of the year.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
All right, now, Mike, for people that are starting out, maybe they are in this stage, What do you want to recommend to them to do in order for them to succeed in sales? Because they want to get the result at the end of the day. So what would you recommend for beginner sales who are going for argumentation or presentation of their goods or offer?
Give me a call and I will teach you all I can. Like, the Jungle Book, I will teach you all I can. And if you want to be that good in sales, I have the experience of 40 plus years, and I will give you and I will teach you and I will mentor you and I will direct you in the right way. So please connect with me if you want to be that top star of that company, becoming the sales rep of the year, because I've proven it to be true many times. So connect with me. That is actually the easiest way. And then I will guide you forward and coach you in the right direction.
To conclude this conversation, because we usually have agreed that we are going to make it very short so that people can easily consume the information instead of a longer episode. Of course, at the end, it's still long, only that we decide to break it short now.
Like that.
What would be your conclusion in today's episode to the people who are learning into argumentation? How do you go into argumentation? How do you present your goods or services in a way that you can have sales? So what would be your conclusion here, your final statement?
The final statement is, first of all, you need to talk to yourself and ask yourself if you're really into this. And then find out information wherever it is. I mean, if it's me, I'm saying I can be a part of this, but there are so many books out there about sales. And there are a lot of information that you can gather in order to be a better sales guy. So, I mean, as I said in the previous episode, to become a sales rep, you need to educate yourself and you need to train. You need to take that knowledge that you read and train it and make it into a skill in order for you to move forward. So if you just think that you're going to be a good sales rep without any kind of education or training, I mean, good luck. Some of them have it naturally, but it takes a lot of, hard work to get where you want to get. And I am the living proof of that. And I have been reading a lot of books. I have experienced things, and all my experience that I'm talking about now is actually something that I have experienced myself, the pros and cons. So my advice would be to this salesperson to really ask yourself, is this something for you? If it is something for you, then you go and dig deep into the knowledge and see where you lack the knowledge, and then you read, educate yourself, and then you train. That is the major part, that is the foundation.
All right, thank you so much, Mike.
Thank you very much, Obehi.
If you enjoyed this podcast, make sure you subscribe so you never miss any of our future episodes. Rate and review Obehi Podcast and share with your friends who might need it. I remain Obehi Ewanfo. Thank you so much for listening, and talk to you in the next episode.